Okay, so let's dig into this. Today, we're tackling a question that comes up constantly. How do you actually become a product manager in the tech world? It's this really central role, right? Building great stuff, but the path in often feels like a bit of a mystery.
It really does, yeah. And to help kind of navigate that, we've pulled insights from a really practical source, the book Cracking the PM Interview. It's by two people who, well, they really know the space. You've got Gail Lockman McDowell, founder of Career Cup, loads of interview experience from Google, Microsoft, Apple.
Wow, yeah.
And Jackie Bavaro, who's a PM at Asana, her blog on Quora about getting into PM, apparently that's what sparked the whole book. Just really actionable advice.
Okay, so that's our source material. And our goal today, it's really to distill their wisdom, right?
Right.
Get the core insights, maybe some surprising bits, the concrete steps, and share the most valuable pieces with you. Think of it like a shortcut. A shortcut to understanding the PM role, sure, but also how to position yourself, build that experience, and handle those tough interviews to actually land the job.
Exactly. It's a unique path, and getting your foot in the door definitely requires some specific prep.
Okay, so let's start right at the beginning. The big question, what is a product manager, really? Because you hear this all the time, don't you? This idea that you're the CEO of the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like one of the first big myths the book tackles head on. The reality is, as a PM, you almost never have direct authority. Not over the engineers, the designers. They don't report to you.
No direct reports. Okay.
So your influence, it doesn't come from a title on an org chart. It comes from building credibility,
Yeah.
earning trust.
Influence without authority. I mean, that sounds, well, pretty challenging. How does the book say you actually do that? How do you lead?
It's about leading through a clear vision for the product, doing your homework with research, user research, market research, structuring problems logically, communicating really clearly, using data effectively, and yeah, persuasion is a big part of it.
So you have to earn the team's respect.
Totally. They need to believe you get the user, you get the market, you've got a solid plan. But also, crucially, that you respect their expertise. And that piece about respecting expertise, especially with engineers, the book says is just non-negotiable.
Makes sense. They build the thing.
Exactly. They're the ones actually building the product. And the book points out, like, one of the fastest ways to just torpedo that relationship is making promises about timelines outside the team without getting their buy-in first or, dismissing their estimates. You need them as partners.
Got it. So it's a collaborative role, deeply collaborative, and it sits at this interesting intersection, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right there in the middle. Technology, what can we build? How do we build it?
Yeah.
Business doesn't make sense. How do we position it? Does it drive value? And design, what's the experience like? How does it feel?
So you're constantly switching hats.
All the time, thinking from multiple angles, which honestly is probably part of the appeal for a lot of people who go into PM. It's dynamic.
And the day-to-day work, when a product is actually being built, it's not all just high-level strategy meetings.
Oh, definitely not. Far from it. During implementation, the PM is really focused on making sure the team can just, work, be effective. So that means checking in constantly, identifying blockers. Like if an engineer is stuck waiting on another team, you jump in, maybe find them other tasks, or you go talk to that other team and try to get things unblocked. Or say a feature turns out way harder to build than expected. You work with the team. How do we adapt? Can we simplify it?
And managing scope if things slip.
Yeah, if schedules are looking tight, you're the one leading that discussion. Okay, what's the lower priority here? What can we cut to make sure we hit the important deadlines? It's very much in the trenches with the team.
How is this different from, say, a marketing manager role? They often seem related.
They are related, but distinct. Marketing is typically focused on getting users to the product. The messaging, the campaigns, driving awareness and acquisition. The product manager. You own what happens inside the product once the user gets there.
Ah, okay. Inside versus outside.
Kind of. You define the features, the user flows, the actual functionality. Marketing might have great ideas based on market positioning or campaigns, but the PM takes those ideas, researches them, digs into the details, writes the requirements, and then works with engineering to actually build and launch it.
So it really underscores that point. It's not enough just to be the ideas person.
No way. That's maybe one of the biggest points the book hammers home. Ideas. Ideas are relatively easy. Lots of people have them. The real value, the hard part, is execution.
Making it real.
Exactly. Taking that fuzzy concept and making it totally concrete. thinking through every little detail, every edge case, how users will interact. And that means getting your hands dirty, digging into data, finding resources yourself, persuading other teams, using your own product relentlessly to feel the hidden points.
It sounds like a role where you're maybe constantly needing to prove your value. Is that fair?
The book does kind of touch on that, suggesting that maybe in the very short term, compared to an engineer writing code or a salesperson closing a deal, the PM's immediate output can feel less tangible. But the source is really clear. Great product management is often the difference maker between success and failure. It attracts people who love tech, love solving problems, but maybe didn't fit neatly into just one box like pure engineering or pure design.
Okay, that paints a much clearer picture of the role. The influence, the execution focus, sitting at that intersection. But now, the million-dollar question, how do you actually get that job? The book even notes, right, that there wasn't much info out there on breaking in compared to how to be a good PM once you're there.
Yeah, that's the challenge they really wanted to tackle. It can feel like that classic catch-22, right?
Need experience for the job, need the job for experience.
Exactly. But the good news is the book lays out some pretty smart ways to build relevant experience before you get that official PM title.
Okay, like what, if someone's listening right now, maybe in an engineering or marketing role, what can they start doing?
You can start right where you are, internally. If you work with internal teams, maybe engineers building on your platform or a sales team using tools you support, treat them like your customers.
Internal customers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do little informal user studies. Talk to them. Understand their workflows, their pain points, what are their use cases, and practice describing your work or potential improvements from their point of view. Focus on the benefits to them. Start talking less like an engineer, maybe, and more like a PM focused on user outcomes.
That feels very doable. A mindset shift almost.
It is. And another thing, look for chances to help out current PMs. They're often totally swamped. Offer to take something off their plate, maybe spec out a small feature, run some data analysis, do some competitive research.
Just volunteer?
Yeah, show initiative. A lot of PMs are happy to mentor someone who's eager, and it gives you direct exposure to the work.
What about that idea of, like, faking it till you make it? Taking initiative without asking?
Well, maybe not faking it, but definitely taking initiative. That's where scrappiness comes in. The book highlights this as a super valuable PM trait.
Scrappiness.
Yeah, being resourceful, finding ways to get stuff done, even without the official process or budget. Like the book had an example of someone using a contest to motivate engineers on UI bugs. Creative problem solving. Taking leadership, even on small internal projects or initiatives, shows that drive.
Makes sense. And side projects. You hear about those a lot.
Oh yeah, side projects are probably the #1 thing the book emphasizes for building experience outside your main job.
Building something yourself, you mean?
Exactly. It's such a great way to get hands-on with the whole cycle. Coming up with the idea, making design choices, actually getting it built. Maybe you code it, maybe you partner with someone launching it, seeing if anyone uses it.
So you experience the whole mini product life cycle.
Precisely. Pick something you actually care about, that passion comes through, and be ready to talk about it. Why did you build it? What choices did you make? What went wrong? How did you measure success, even if success was just learning something?
Metrics matter even for side projects.
They can, even simple things like signups or if you tried to make money. But honestly, just doing it shows huge initiative. Put it on your resume, maybe a simple website.
Are there formal things, like classes?
Sure, classes can help. Things like entrepreneurship, marketing, maybe consumer behavior. They show interest and can give you frameworks. An MBA might help at some companies, networking maybe, but the book suggests it's not essential for many PM roles. The skills aren't exclusive to MBAs.
And what about your online presence? Do your Twitter feed matter?
The book suggests it definitely can. Using platforms like Twitter or a personal blog to share thoughts on products, tech trends, it gives people a window into how you think. I mean, look at Jackie Bavaro. Her Quora blog is literally why she co-authored the book. It helped her stand out.
Okay, so you've hustled, you've built some experience one way or another. Now, the resume. The book calls it your first product. I like that.
It really is. It shows your communication skills, your design sense in a way. And the key advice, focus relentlessly on impact.
Not just duties, but results.
Exactly. Quantifiable results whenever possible. Don't just say managed projects. Say led 3 cross-functional projects that resulted in a 15% increase in X, or coordinated with 10 engineering teams to launch Y feature. Use numbers. Doubled user engagement. Grew revenue by zillions.
Specificity.
Yes. And formatting matters too. The book is pretty adamant. No big walls of text, no blobs.
Keep bullets short.
Keep them concise, 1 or 2 lines max. Aim for have to be just 1 line. Make it super scannable for recruiters. Use a clean template, nothing too flashy. 2 or 3 columns can work well to separate company title from the impact bullets. Avoid wasting space with big headers down the side. Use white space well.
And use that space to showcase the key PM attributes.
Technical skills, list languages, if you have space and they're relevant. Your passion for tech. Initiative. Leadership. And always, impact. Oh, and if you work somewhere less known, add a super brief description, maybe mention investors or scale to add credibility. The book has a great before and after resume examples.
Good tip. What about the cover letter? Still necessary.
The book argues, yes, it's your chance to show personality, passion, why this specific company, this specific role.
More than just repeating the resume.
Way more. You can tell a short story. Highlight your initiative, your tech passion, maybe a smart risk you took, show you've done your homework on them, and tailor the tone, right? A startup cover letter might be different from one for a huge corporation.
Okay, application in, looks good. Now, the interviews. The gauntlet. The book makes a big point that the process really differs company by company.
Hugely. Yeah, each company has its own culture, its own history, and that shapes the interviews. Google, for instance. Historically, very technical PMs. Engineering-driven culture, so they'll push hard on analytical skills, data, strategy, how you facilitate decisions, and they have that distinct hiring committee process. Can take a while.
Right. And Facebook or Meta?
Facebook has that hacker vibe, right? They value entrepreneurship, people who've maybe founded something. PMs there are highly technical. They even put PMs through a coding boot camp if they don't already code. Also uses a hiring committee, like Google.
Microsoft.
Different structure there.
Yeah, Microsoft historically had these distinct roles. Program manager, often more technical, focused on the build, and product manager, sometimes more marketing or MBA types, focused on requirements. Core feature teams, concise specs are key.
Apple and Amazon feel distinct too, definitely. Apple often has EPMs, engineering program managers, especially hardware and software, very focused on project management, coordinating huge complex efforts. Technical background helps, but not always CS Amazon. Famously driven by their 14 leadership principles. Customer obsession, bias for action. Interviews will dig deep into your past experiences to see how you embody those principles. They have TPMs for technical delivery and PMs who are more user-focused, often fast-paced.
And the others highlighted.
Twitter was mentioned, TPMs for delivery, PMs more user-focused, often needing more experience. Dropbox looks for strong technical background, maybe startup experience, and they really care about sweating the details, edge cases, plus cultural fit.
Okay, so step 1 is definitely research the specific company culture and likely process. Step 2, prepare for the types of questions. The book breaks these down nicely. Behavioral questions first.
Yeah, super common everywhere. They want to know how you act, how you handle tricky situations, challenges, mistakes. And can you be humble? Can you learn?
And the advice is structure, structure, structure. Use STAR.
Absolutely. STAR method. Situation, task, action, result. It just keeps your stories clear and ensures you hit the key points. The book also stresses showing you understand people, their motivations. Don't badmouth anyone. Don't sound helpless, show you took action. And practice telling your key stories out loud.
What about the classic, what's your biggest weakness? Question.
Yeah, the book advises framing it constructively, something you're genuinely working on. Avoid anything related to, honesty or integrity, obviously. Phrase it like, something I'm actively focusing on improving is.
Okay. Then there are estimation questions. How many golf balls fit in a school bus type things? Ugh.
Yeah, they can feel intimidating. But the key takeaway from the book is the process matters way more than the final number.
So how you think it through?
Exactly. First, clarify the question, make sure you understand it. Second, state your assumptions clearly. Write them down. Let the interviewer see your logic. Third, structure your approach. Often it's like a little equation you break down. Fourth, pick reasonable numbers for each part. Round numbers are your friend here. Makes math easier. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Fifth, do the math. And sixth, super important, sanity check the answer. Does it feel remotely plausible? If not, revisit your assumptions. The book walks through examples like estimating shampoo revenue breakdown population, usage, price, etc. Or police officers think about ratios, city sizes. It's about logical breakdown.
Makes sense. Next up, product design questions. Design X for Y, or how would you improve Z?
Right, this is where you show your product thinking, your creativity. But again, structure helps. The book says, start with the user. Who exactly are you designing for? What are their specific needs, goals, limitations? Define the core use cases. Then look at current solutions. What are the pain points? Brainstorm widely tweaks, big changes, new approaches, and prioritize. Pick a couple of key ideas, flesh them out. Think about the wow factor, but also feasibility. Connect it back to user needs and business goals, and use a whiteboard. Seriously helps communicate your thinking.
Okay. Strategy questions next. Acquisitions, market entry, product direction. Yeah, these test your business sense. Structure is key again. Show you can think broadly. Frameworks can help guide you, but don't just recite them blindly. The book mentions things like the 4 Ps of marketing: product, price, place, promotion, or SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, as ways to organize your thoughts. Drive the discussion.
Marketing and launching questions.
Be ready to talk vision, goals, target market competitors, discuss launch activities. The book specifically calls out the chicken and egg problem for marketplaces needing buyers and sellers at the same time. How would you solve that? And finally, technical questions. How deep do these usually go?
It really varies. Depends on the company. The role, it's at a technical PM role, but you need to speak the language of engineers.
The book suggests understanding basics, data structures like stacks and queues, how they work conceptually, basic algorithms like sorting, searching, understanding big O notation, just a way to talk about algorithm efficiency, trade-offs.
So conceptual understanding is key.
Yeah. You don't usually need to write complex code in the interview itself, but you need to show you're technically curious, you understand the fundamentals of how software gets built. The book offers a good self-test. Does the idea of teaching yourself enough code to build a simple app sound exciting or like a total chore? That tells you something about your fit for a tech PM role.
Good point. Okay, last part of the interview. Your turn to ask questions. The book says don't waste this.
Absolutely not. It's a strategic opportunity. Show you're engaged, thoughtful, and also figure out if you want to work there. Ask useful questions about the role, the team, the challenges, how success is measured. Ask passion questions. Show you've researched them. You care about their future. Ask expertise questions. Show you understand their business or market.
Tailor them too.
Yeah, tailor them.
Yeah.
What a startup values might differ from a big company. And definitely avoid questions that make it sound like you're just focused on pay or planning your exit strategy already.
All right, so you navigated the interviews, you impressed them, you got the offer, huge congrats. What does the book say about actually succeeding and growing in the PM role?
What the ultimate yardstick, right? It's the products you ship. How well do they actually do? Did they solve the problem, meet the goals? And beyond launch, it's about becoming the go-to expert on your product area, on your customers. Do your homework, talk to everyone, users, sales, support. Immerse yourself.
And thinking longer term, career growth.
The book makes a really empowering point here. You have a lot of control over how fast you gain experience. You do that by deliberately seeking out roles or teams that expose you to things you haven't done. Worked on mature products. Try joining a team building something from scratch, 0 to 1. Only done consumer. Maybe try B2B.
Be intentional about the types of experience you collect.
Exactly. And growing companies, they often just naturally offer more opportunities, faster advancement, because things are constantly changing and expanding.
Does your manager matter much?
Oh, hugely. A good manager can be an accelerant, someone who trusts you, gives you chances to stretch on bigger projects. The book suggests doing your homework, talk to people on their team if you can. Build trust with your manager, tell them your goals, step up when they offer opportunities. And the source shares some cool breakthrough stories, right? People who applied learnings from one area, like search, to a totally different product, like maps.
Or stepping up when an opportunity opens unexpectedly.
Yeah, or working at companies known for developing talent. Realizing the simple power of writing things down clearly to drive alignment, the power of the pen. Leveraging past experience from QA or engineering. Finding mentors. Taking leaps into fast-growing startups.
What's the advice on staying versus jumping companies?
Generally, stay long enough to build deep expertise and let the company invest in you, usually a few years. That lets you tackle bigger internal projects. But the book acknowledges, sometimes, especially maybe in larger companies, a big jump in title or scope might mean moving externally, where you can interview for that higher level based on your overall experience.
Okay, wrapping up, what does the book boil it down to? What makes a great PM? the core qualities?
They list a few key things. Brilliance, which they argue can be learned or developed. Getting things done, that scrappiness, resourcefulness, that spidey sense for product kind of an intuition, maybe innate, but definitely tunable with experience.
Mm.
Leadership and teamwork influence, decision making, handling feedback, prioritizing, structured thinking, and fundamentally, having shipped stuff, proven execution.
Like the Amazon principles almost.
Exactly. Looking at Amazon's leadership principles, customer obsession, ownership, bias for action, deliver results, have backbone, disagree, and commit. Those are all flavors of great product management in action.
Wow. Okay, that was a really comprehensive journey. We went from like debunking the myths about the PM role,
Yeah, getting past the CEO thing.
just super practical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Building experience even before you have the job, making your resume scream impact,
Yeah.
navigating those really varied interviews,
Company by company.
and then thinking about how to succeed and grow once you're actually in the role.
And drawing on Gail Lackman McDowell's and Jackie Bavaro's real-world experience just makes it so grounded, doesn't it? It's not abstract theory.
Definitely not. So hopefully this deep dive into their insights gives you, our listener, a much clearer roadmap, maybe some actionable steps you can take, like today, whether you're just exploring PM or actively chasing that first role.
Mm-hmm. And maybe one last thought to leave you with, something the source touches on. It suggests that while tons of PM skills are learnable, you can practice structured thinking, get better at communication, gain domain expertise. There might be this core spidey sense for product, that gut feel for what users need, what works. Maybe it's more innate, something you tune rather than build from zero.
Interesting.
Yeah. And if that's true, it raises a question, right? How do you figure out if you have that spark, if you're trying to break in? And what does it mean for making this career accessible if maybe some part of it comes more naturally to some people?
That is a fascinating question to chew on, something to think about as you explore this path.